Get ready to dive into WWE.
Oh, yeah.
This deep dive takes us ringside for the fallout from Elimination Chamber.
WWE's last big stop before WrestleMania.
We've got a stack of sources to unpack.
Match results, backstage interviews,
And all the buzz online.
because this event had it all. 2 huge title matches,
Yeah.
shocking returns, brutal unsanctioned fights.
And a betrayal that will change everything.
Everything leading into WrestleMania.
What's fascinating is how this event, it wasn't just about wins and losses.
Right.
It totally reshaped the landscape heading into WrestleMania. We saw power shifts, alliances tested,
Yeah.
and storylines taking some seriously unexpected turns.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with the Women's Elimination Chamber match.
Okay.
Talk about kicking things off with a bang. Jade Cargill returns and immediately targets Naomi, taking her out before the bell even rings.
Whoa.
That had to send chills down your spine, right?
What?
This was more than just eliminating a competitor. Cargill's attack was brutal. Remember, she and Bianca Belair are supposed to be a team later that night. Seeing your partner go that wild, that vicious, has got to mess with your head, especially right before a huge match.
And the match itself? Pure chaos. We saw some incredible high-flying action, and Bianca Belair really had to fight her way to the top. I mean, using Liv Morgan's hair to slam her into the cage, that was a move.
You must have winced when Bianca used Liv's hair like that. It was a risky move.
Oh, yeah.
Bordering on dangerous, but definitely memorable. And that confrontation with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky after the match, talk about setting the stage for an epic showdown at WrestleMania. You can practically feel the tension building between those three.
Oh, absolutely. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we've got another big return to talk about. Trish Stratus, a WWE legend, came back to her hometown of Toronto
Wow.
to team up with Tiffany Stratton against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
Bringing Stratus back was a brilliant move. It tapped into that nostalgia factor for longtime fans. And putting her with Stratton gives Stratton a huge rub. But scoring the pin on Nia Jax, that's a big deal. Jax is a powerhouse. This win puts Stratton on the map as a serious contender.
Do you think the Stratus comeback is a one-off?
I'm not sure. Bringing her back for just one match in her hometown seems almost wasteful. They might be testing the waters for something bigger.
Okay, now let's talk about The Rock. Did you see that vignette they played? It highlighted all of his success.
Yeah.
His connection to WWE and that link to the rising TKO group, they really built up the anticipation for his appearance.
And then that offer he made to Cody Rhodes. Embrace me as a brother and become my champion, or see your dream die.
Talk about pressure.
Right. Forcing Cody to choose between his own path and the endorsement of a legend. That's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, it's a classic wrestling dilemma. Stay true to yourself or compromise for power and glory.
Tough one.
And by bringing up Cody's father, Dusty Rhodes, The Rock added a whole other layer of emotional weight.
Exactly. This wasn't just about ambition. It was about legacy, family, and the weight of expectations.
Now get ready for this. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
Oh, yeah.
In an unsanctioned match. No rules, weapons galore.
Intense.
Fighting through the crowd. Even the referee got taken out. These two were absolutely brutal.
This match was years in the making. Their history, the animosity, you could feel it in every punch, every slam. And the fact that it spilled out into the crowd, that's WWE breaking down that fourth wall, making it feel even more real, even more intense.
There were some crazy spots in that match. The table spots, Sammy using a barbed wire chair. It was insane. Owens wins, but after a fight like that, can anyone really claim victory?
Right. These no-hold-barred matches take a toll. Even in victory, there's a sense of damage, a cost that can't be ignored. And then Owens continues attacking officials like he's lost it completely.
Yeah.
Until...
Surprise return, #2. Randy Orton is back. He takes out Owens with an RKO and then lays waste to 4 officials.
The crowd went absolutely ballistic. Orton's return was completely unexpected, and it instantly shifted the power dynamics. It makes you wonder what this means for Owens, and more importantly, is Orton back for good?
Let's move on to the men's Elimination Chamber match. First of all, that crowd reaction when John Cena returned, electric.
Electric.
He proved he can still hang with the best, going toe-to-toe with Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and then that final showdown with CM Punk.
That match was a clash of styles and generations. Cena's raw power and experience versus Punk's technical prowess and rebellious spirit.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, Logan Paul. He may be a newcomer to WWE, But his athleticism and audacity make him a real threat.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to push the boundaries, to try new things, and that's what makes him so dangerous.
He definitely made his presence felt in that match, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
In the end, it came down to Cena and Punk. And then, that shocking twist ending, Seth Rollins interferes, allowing John Cena to lock in the STF and win. Cena's going to WrestleMania.
That interference was brilliant. It adds another layer of complexity to the already tangled web of rivalries. And remember, for those who might not be familiar, a heel turn is when a good guy, a fan favorite, turns into a villain.
Right.
That often happens suddenly and can completely change the direction of a storyline.
Right. And speaking of heel turns, buckle up because things are about to get crazy. Cody Rhodes comes out to face his WrestleMania opponent, John Cena. They shake hands. The Rock's music hits.
You could cut the tension with a knife at that point. The Rock's presence is always electrifying, but this time it felt different. And when he walked to the ring with Travis Scott, who was carrying that redesigned Hardcore Championship, it felt like a statement.
Yeah.
It was almost like a coronation, wasn't
It
it?
was almost like a coronation.
And then Cody makes his decision.
Yeah.
He rejects The Rock's offer, choosing to go his own way, even if it means facing the consequences.
That was such a powerful moment. Cody choosing his own path, rejecting the legacy that The Rock was offering him. It was a bold move, and it had immediate consequences.
Because then...
John Cena does the unthinkable. He turns heel, brutally attacking Cody with help from The Rock and Travis Scott.
Wow.
And to make things even worse, they used Dusty Rhodes' memorabilia in the attack.
That heel turn was so unexpected, so flawlessly executed. And using Dusty's items, it was a stroke of genius. It wasn't just a physical attack, it was a psychological one.
Right.
Designed to break Cody's spirit.
The show ends with Cena, Scott, and The Rock standing over a beaten Cody,
Oh my.
while the crowd chants, "You sold out!" Talk about a cliffhanger. What does this mean for Cody? For WrestleMania? For the future of WWE?
Man, that ending was brutal. You have to wonder if this is the end for Cody Rhodes, or is it the fuel he needs to come back even stronger?
It's definitely a turning point, no question. But before we get too caught up in the future, there's a lot to unpack from this event. Let's rewind for a second and go back to that unsanctioned match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. You could feel the bad blood between those two.
That match was like a Shakespearean tragedy, unfolding in the ring,
Right.
all that history, that animosity. They were telling a story with every punch, every slam.
And when it spilled out into the crowd,
Oh, man.
that's WWE breaking down that fourth wall, blurring the lines between performance and reality. Makes you feel like you're right there, in the middle of the action.
Exactly. And speaking of blurring the lines, remember Cena's turn? He went from shaking Cody's hand to joining The Rock in a brutal beatdown.
Oh, yeah.
It makes you wonder, is this all part of a bigger plan?
We saw tables broken, chairs smashed, a barbed wire chair. It was intense. Owens wins, but it felt like a Pyrrhic victory.
Right. These no-holds-barred matches,
Yeah.
they take a toll. Even in victory, there's a sense of damage. And then Owens attacking the officials after the match. It's like he was consumed by rage,
Yeah.
a need to keep inflicting pain. It was almost
Yeah.
scary.
And just when you think things can't get any wilder,
Yeah.
Randy Orton returns.
The place erupted. Did you see the look on Owens' face? I think he was genuinely terrified.
Orton's return was perfectly timed. It injects chaos and unpredictability into the situation. And the way he took out Owens, clean, decisive,
Yeah.
that was a statement. I'm back, it said, and I'm not messing around.
Yeah.
And then he RKO's 4 officials.
Wow.
Talk about making an entrance. I think this signals that Orton is back for good.
I agree. It looks like Orton is back in a big way. But let's shift gears and talk about those Elimination Chamber matches.
Okay.
The women's match was incredible. Bianca Belair had to fight tooth and nail for that victory.
I'm still thinking about that moment where she used Liv Morgan's hair
Yeah.
to slam her into the cage.
Well, yeah.
It was brutal, but it also showed just how far Bianca is willing to go to win.
It was a risky move, definitely. But it was also a statement. Bianca was showing the entire division that she's not afraid to take risks, to push the limits, to do whatever it takes,
Got it.
be the best.
And then we had the men's match, which was just as intense and unpredictable. Logan Paul, wow, he really proved that he belongs in the WWE.
He more than held his own in there.
Yeah.
Some of the best in the business. Paul's athleticism and risk-taking
Yeah.
add a whole new dimension to the WWE. He's not afraid to try new things, to push the boundaries,
Yeah.
and that makes him a threat to anyone in the ring.
And then there was that showdown between John Cena and CM Punk, two icons, two legends, battling for a chance at the title at WrestleMania.
Cena and Punk. That was more than just a match. It was a clash of styles and generations.
Right.
Cena's raw power and experience versus Punk's technical prowess. And that anti-establishment attitude, it was electric. You could feel the history, the energy, the weight of the moment.
And then
Yeah.
Seth Rollins interferes, allowing John Cena to lock in the STF and win. I bet you didn't see that coming.
Honestly, who did? That interference throws a wrench in the works. It was brilliant storytelling, adding another layer of complexity to an already tangled web of rivalries.
So Cena's going to WrestleMania. And speaking of WrestleMania, we have to talk about that ending. Cody Rhodes comes out to face his opponent, John Cena. They shake hands. The Rock's music hits, and the place goes crazy.
The energy in the arena shifted in that moment. The Rock has that aura, that presence that commands attention.
Yeah.
And then he walks to the ring with Travis Scott, carrying the redesigned Hardcore Championship. It was like they were making a statement. We're here, and we're changing the game.
It felt like a coronation, didn't it? Like The Rock was passing the torch, and it was up to Cody to decide if he wanted to accept it.
Right.
But he doesn't. He rejects The Rock's offer, choosing to go his own way, even if it means facing The Rock's wrath.
That was huge. It showed that Cody is not afraid to stand up for what he believes in, even if it means going against one of the biggest legends in the business. It was a bold move. And honestly, I don't think The Rock saw it coming.
And then, bam, John Cena turns heel. He attacks Cody with help from The Rock and Travis Scott. And to add insult to injury, they use Dusty Rhodes' memorabilia during the attack.
That heel turn was masterful. It was brutal, it was unexpected, and it was personal, using Dusty's items.
Oh, yeah.
That was a low blow, even for a heel turn. It wasn't just about taking Cody out physically. It was about breaking him mentally and emotionally.
It's like they were trying to erase everything Dusty Rhodes stood for, to rewrite history.
And the crowd chanting, "You sold out." As Cena, Scott, and The Rock stand over beaten Cody, it was chilling. It makes you question everything. You thought you knew about these characters.
It was a perfect ending to a night full of twists and turns.
It definitely leaves us with a lot to think about. What does this mean for Cody's future? Will he be able to overcome this betrayal? And what about Cena? He's aligned himself with The Rock and Travis Scott, but can he trust them? Or will he end up being their next victim?
There are so many questions, so many possibilities.
And that's the beauty of it. Elimination Chamber has set the stage for what's sure to be an unforgettable road to WrestleMania.
And speaking of unforgettable, we can't wrap this up without talking about those other returns. We saw Jade Cargill come back with a vengeance.
Oh, yeah?
And Trish Stratus made a triumphant return to the ring. Let's dive into what those returns could mean for the future of WWE.
Absolutely. Cargill's return was shocking. And her attack on Naomi has left everyone wondering what her motivations are. Is this the beginning of a new rivalry? And what about Trish Stratus? Was her appearance a one-time thing? Or is she signaling a longer return to WWE?
These returns add another layer of excitement and intrigue to an already unpredictable landscape.
It's going to be fascinating to see how everything unfolds.
We've covered a lot of ground, but there's always more to explore. If there's anything specific you want to dive deeper into, hit us up on social media or leave us a comment. We love hearing your thoughts and theories.
And remember, in the world of WWE, anything is possible. Alliances can shift, heroes can fall, and legends can rise again. So keep watching, keep listening, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the world of professional wrestling.
So we've been going over all the action from WWE Elimination Chamber, and there's still a few threads, I think, that we need to pull, specifically those surprise returns.
Right.
Let's start with Jade Cargill. She comes back, lays out Naomi, and kind of leaves everyone wondering, what was that about?
Cargill's return was a shock in itself, but to attack Naomi, her supposed tag team partner, that was a power move. It instantly injected unpredictability into the women's division.
Yeah.
You have to wonder if she's trying to establish herself as a dominant force, even if it means turning on her supposed ally.
Yeah. It makes you think about how quickly things can change in WWE. 1 minute you're a team, the next you're enemies. It's a constant power struggle.
Right.
And Cargill just threw down the gauntlet. Do you think she's going to target Bianca Belair next?
It's definitely possible. After all, Belair is the champion, and Cargill might see her as the ultimate obstacle to her own ambitions.
Yeah.
Plus, remember how rattled Bianca was seeing that attack? That could play into Cargill's strategy. It's psychological warfare at its finest.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of returns, we can't forget about Trish Stratus. Seeing her back in the ring,
Oh,
in
yeah.
her hometown of Toronto, that was a special moment.
Bringing Stratus back was a smart move. It tapped into that nostalgia factor,
Mm.
reminding longtime fans of her legendary status
Yeah.
and teaming her up with Tiffany Stratton, allowing Stratton to score the pin on Nia Jax.
Mm-hmm.
That was a brilliant way to elevate a rising star.
It definitely put Stratton on the map, but was this just a one-time appearance for Stratus, or is she signaling a longer return?
That's the million-dollar question. Bringing her back for just one match in her hometown seems almost like a wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
It feels like they could be testing the waters, gauging the fan reaction to see if there's an appetite for a more substantial Stratus return.
Okay, let's circle back to that ending,
Right.
that ultimate betrayal. Cody Rhodes, after rejecting The Rock's offer, gets brutally attacked by John Cena, who's now seemingly aligned with The Rock and Travis Scott.
Cena's heel turn was a masterstroke. It completely changes the landscape heading into WrestleMania. And using Dusty Rhodes' memorabilia in the attack, that added a layer of emotional devastation that you just don't see very often in WWE.
It was tough to watch, honestly, to see Cody get betrayed like that, and by John Cena, no less.
Right.
It was heartbreaking. But at the same time, it was brilliant storytelling. It raises so many questions, creates so much drama, and has everyone talking.
It's the kind of storytelling that leaves you wanting more. You're left wondering, what's going to happen next? Will Cody be able to overcome this? Will Cena's newfound ruthlessness lead him to the championship? What are The Rock and Travis Scott's true motivations?
Elimination Chamber wasn't just about setting up matches for WrestleMania. It was about planting seeds, creating doubt, and blurring the lines between heroes and villains. It was a night of shocking twists and turns, leaving us with more questions than answers.
Exactly, and that's what makes WWE so compelling. You never know what's going to happen next.
So as we head into WrestleMania, one thing is clear. The stakes are higher than ever.
Right.
We've got heroes on a path of redemption, villains rising to power, and a whole lot of unanswered questions.
The road to WrestleMania is paved with uncertainty, and that's what makes this journey so exciting.
This has been a deep dive into the wild world of WWE Elimination Chamber, and we've barely scratched the surface. Keep those conversations going online. Share your theories, and get ready for a WrestleMania that promises to be one for the ages. Until next time, stay curious and keep on diving deep.